I never thought I'd see my name on a mission file stamped top secret, eyes only. Not as a test pilot. Not as a scientist. And definitely not for a mission NASA officially denied ever happened. It was the fall of 1972 when I got the call. Captain Reed, report to Langley. Clearance level 8. Bring nothing. Say nothing. No other details. Just that. When I arrived, they took me underground. Past 5 layers of security. I wasn't alone. There were 4 others, Major Taylor from the Air Force, Dr. Heller from MIT, a Russian cosmonaut named Mikhail, yes, a Soviet, and a man no one introduced. He didn't speak once. We sat in silence until an older man walked in. Sharp suit. Steel eyes. A badge that just said Harlan. He wasted no time. Gentlemen, what I'm about to show you is not a theory. It's not speculation. This is fact. You've been selected for Apollo 18, because Apollo 17 was never the last mission. He turned on a projector. Grainy black and white video appeared. The moon's surface. Silent. Still. Then, movement. A pulse, not light, not sound, but space itself bending like heat above asphalt. A glowing ring shimmered in the lunar dust. Then it opened. Not exploded. Not collapsed. Just opened. And something came out. Something we couldn't see clearly. But the astronauts did. The screaming in the audio was cut off abruptly. Then, static. Harlan looked at us. This was transmitted during Apollo 17. The footage was buried. So was the crew. We were told the truth. NASA found anomalies on the moon, portals, and covered it up. Now, they were becoming unstable. Whatever they were connected to, it was waking up. And we were going to investigate. Apollo 18 would never appear in any public records. No mission patches. No fanfare. Just silence. And we launched on October 21st, 1972. Launch day was quiet. No journalists. No TV cameras. Just a dark hangar and a crew moving like ghosts. They called our spacecraft Odyssey 2, but no one outside would ever hear that name. Inside the capsule, everything felt familiar and wrong. There was no radio chatter from Houston, no countdown for the public. Just a voice in our ear. T-10. Godspeed. And then we were gone. The launch felt like every other, until it didn't. Once we left orbit, mission control went dark. There was a new voice. Calm, clipped. British, maybe. Codename Scepter. Apollo 18, proceed to Vector Delta 7. Confirm when visual contact is made with anomaly site. Anomaly site. That meant the portal. We orbited the moon twice before descent. As we prepared to land, we flew over Mare Crisium, the Sea of Crises. That's where it was. A perfect circle etched into the surface. Not a crater. A scar. It pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. We landed 300 meters away. As we stepped onto the surface, everything felt heavier than it should. Lunar gravity wasn't behaving right near the anomaly. Dr. Heller called it gravitational distortion. Taylor called it screw this. I didn't say anything. Our orders were clear: set up the probes, activate the remote scanner, and get inside the structure if it opens. Yes, if. But when we arrived at the rim of the circle, it opened again. On its own. Like it knew we were coming. A glowing ring formed in midair, crackling with energy. Behind it was nothing. No stars. No moon. Just black. Absolute black. And then a sound inside our helmets. Not from our radios. Not from outside. A whisper. Dozens of voices. Hundreds. All at once. Not speaking, remembering. We looked at each other. No one moved. Then Mikhail stepped forward and walked straight into the portal. Gone. No scream. No delay. He vanished like smoke. Dr. Heller ran diagnostics. No readings. No signal. No sign of him. Taylor cursed and drew his sidearm. We go in together. We finish the mission. Or we die trying. And so, we followed him. Passing through the portal felt like being stretched into a million pieces and reassembled backward. We landed on solid ground, but it wasn't the moon anymore. We were in a vast cavern. Above us, black skies with no stars. Beneath our boots, smooth, metallic ground etched with glowing blue lines, like circuitry stretching to infinity. The air was breathable, somehow. Our oxygen sensors said so. But none of us removed our helmets. Dr. Heller scanned the surroundings. This place is generating power. Massive power. And it's old. Older than the moon itself. That shouldn't have been possible. Ahead of us stood a structure, part tower, part monument, shaped like a spire twisted by impossible geometry. It hummed softly, as if alive. We heard footsteps. We turned. It was Mikhail. But something was wrong. His visor was cracked. His eyes, empty. And he was whispering. Not in Russian. Not in English. In a language that hurt to hear. The whisper entered our comms again, stronger now. Louder. More chaotic. Voices layered on top of each other, screaming, pleading, warning. Then Mikhail screamed, dropped to his knees, and melted. No blood. No bones. Just dust and ash, dissolving into the ground. Taylor aimed his gun at the tower. Whatever's running this place is not friendly. But then, the tower shifted. It didn't move, it changed. New shapes emerged from it, like figures trapped in the walls, reaching out. Human. Alien. Some indescribable. Dr. Heller clutched his head. They're showing me things, images. Our world. Our time. Other worlds. The whispers weren't trying to scare us. They were trying to communicate. And suddenly I saw it too. Flashes of ancient cities buried in dust, machines orbiting dead stars, creatures beyond physics, all linked by these portals. Not doors. Nerves. A vast neural network of worlds, connected across galaxies, maybe universes. And the moon had been hiding one of its roots. We were standing in a nerve ending of something incomprehensibly large. And we had just triggered it. Then the sky pulsed, and the ground began to shake. The portal behind us snapped shut. We were trapped. The ground didn't stop shaking. The entire landscape pulsed with a rhythm, like a massive heartbeat deep below. And the spire began to open. Not like doors, but like a flower blooming in reverse, petals of obsidian peeling outward to reveal a chamber inside. We entered. The walls were covered in glowing symbols, some looked like equations, others like star maps. But none matched anything from Earth. They shifted when you looked at them too long, like they were alive. Dr. Heller placed a hand on the wall. It responded. A beam of light descended from above and scanned him. He collapsed. We rushed to him, but his eyes were wide open, staring into something only he could see. He whispered, "They're still here. Not gone. Just dreaming." Taylor looked at me. Dreaming? What the hell does that mean? But we got the answer. A second chamber lit up. Inside it was a sarcophagus, not stone, but something like dark crystal. Floating. Rotating slowly. And inside, a shape. Humanoid. Gigantic. But not human. Its skin was layered metal, its eyes closed, its face covered in intricate carvings like a mask. It had wires or veins connecting it to the walls, pulsing with blue light. Then a voice echoed, not through the room, but through our minds. You should not be here. We froze. The dream must not break. The cycle must hold. The gate must remain closed. I shouted back, "Who are you?" The voice returned. We are the architects. We build between worlds. We keep the locks intact. Your kind tampered with the key. We realized then, this being, this architect, wasn't just some alien. It was one of the creators of the entire portal system. And our presence here was a threat to its purpose. The sarcophagus began to lower toward the ground. The light in the room shifted, turning red. Dr. Heller groaned. Blood ran from his nose. He stood, barely. They're waking up, all of them, because of us. Suddenly, Taylor fired his sidearm into the sarcophagus. A terrible scream filled the chamber, not mechanical, not organic, but something in between. The entire structure shuddered. You have forced the eye open, the voice boomed. The tower began collapsing. Walls folding in. Ceilings cracking. The room reconfiguring into a defensive state. We ran. As we fled, I saw other sarcophagi starting to rise in the distance, hundreds. Maybe thousands. Whatever this place was, whatever we had entered, it wasn't a ruin. It was a prison. And now, we had started the unlock sequence. We ran through the shifting corridors of the alien structure as the walls screamed. That's the only word I can use, screamed. It wasn't sound. It was pressure in the bones, like our very atoms were being warned. The light pulsed red, then violet. Symbols on the walls warped into claws, eyes, mouths. None of it made sense anymore. Taylor grabbed my arm. We need to get out. Find the portal again. But the portal, it wasn't where we left it. The cavern we entered was gone, replaced by a twisting canyon of metal and light that defied gravity. The terrain was rearranging itself, as if the world was a machine adapting to intruders. Heller collapsed again. He was barely conscious. It's learning us, he whispered. Scanning, adapting, deciding what to send. I didn't understand. Until it appeared. A shape emerged from the mist ahead, at first formless. Then limbs. Then, faces. Hundreds of them. All fused into one being. Some human. Some alien. Some unknown. It floated above the ground. Eyes opened across its chest and arms, some of them were ours. Mikhail's face blinked in and out of its surface. It spoke. But not aloud. Straight into our minds. You came through the gate. You opened what was sealed. You must be processed. Taylor aimed again, but the thing reached out, and his gun disassembled in midair. Then it took him. Not violently. Just pulled him apart. Piece by piece. No blood. No scream. Taylor was gone. I pulled Heller up and ran. I didn't care where, only away from that thing. As we moved, the structure began guiding us, shifting walkways underfoot, lowering ramps, opening walls. It was like something deep in the system wanted us to escape. We arrived at a chamber lined with mirrors, not reflective, but windows. Each one showed a different world, a different portal. Earth, Mars, Saturn. Places I couldn't name, even times I couldn't understand. Then, the moon. The original gate. Our way home. The mirrors began to close, one by one. I carried Heller to the correct one. As it began to fade, I jumped. And blackness took me. I woke up on the lunar surface. Alone. The portal behind me was gone. No sign of Taylor. No sign of Heller. Just me. And silence. Until the whisper returned. The gate remembers. Then the surface shook. Far in the distance, another circle began to glow. The moon wasn't done. I sat in the lunar dust for hours. No backup. No radio. No air support. Just silence, and that same unnatural pull in the ground. Like the moon had become hollow, alive. When I finally reached the landing module, I expected to find it offline. But it was still functional. The systems were running. Life support was stable. That meant I could go back. Or at least, try. I initiated the return sequence. There was no mission control to respond, no Houston to confirm. I was alone. But someone, or something, was still listening. Halfway through launch prep, a file appeared on my onboard display. Encrypted. Marked, Operation, Eclipse Contingency. Inside, video. Footage of us. Walking into the portal. Mikhail vanishing. Taylor screaming. Heller convulsing. Me running. Someone had been watching. Recording the entire time. I stared at the screen as a final message appeared. Do not return to Earth with data. Then, a timer. Counting down. The lander locked up. Engines disabled. I tried to override, but the command system had been rewritten. Not by us. Not by NASA. Something else had taken control. From the portal? From Earth? I didn't know. Then the screen glitched, and a single image replaced everything. A map. Of the moon. But it was pulsing, like a heartbeat, and more red circles began to appear across the surface. 1. 2. Then dozens. Dozens of portals. All waking up. I stared, breath caught in my throat. This wasn't an accident. This was a network. Buried. Waiting. Triggered. And we just flipped the switch. Behind me, the ground cracked. A low hum rose beneath the lunar soil. Like something massive was moving. Climbing. Awakening. I looked up at the earth and the sky, blue, distant, fragile. The whisper returned. The gate is open. The signal has been sent. The architects are coming. And then everything went dark.